It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Tuesday morning. It's my daughter's birthday today. Oh, hey, happy birthday, Marley. What's up?
Happy birthday, Marley.
Woo, woo. The Lighthouse showed up 23 years ago today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, man, she's the best. All right. I'm feeling Minnesota. Now I'm feeling all emotional. Let's get on some headlines. Paul Fletcher, what's happening out there?
Speaking of awesome daughters, the high school girls of Matamidi are officially trailblazers. They won the first ever state title for girls flag football with a 36-20 win over La Crescent. They did have a pilot program last year with 4 teams. I think they were kind of testing it out. This is all put on by the Vikings. But it jumped this year to 50 as an official high school league. Matamidi senior Presley Albers said, quote, "It kind of felt unreal." I think she means surreal. That girls flag football is a thing, and we're here at the Vikings practice facility playing. It'll be awesome to tell my daughter one day that I won the first girls flag football state championship for our school.
Pretty awesome.
That is neat.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
I saw some highlights, and I mean, the fundamentals are like unbelievable. Like, I'm not that I'm surprised. I mean, I've watched girls hockey evolve over the years, but just watching them, like the throws, the catch, I mean, it was
Well, it's a
outstanding.
funny thing about girl athletes. They're coachable.
Yeah, they
You
listen.
show them how to do something, and they go, oh, I'll do it just like the coach told me.
Yeah.
Unlike knucklehead boy athletes.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
It's been my experience.
Being on the ice with little ones of both gender, you couldn't have said that more perfectly.
100%.
Minnesota lawmakers reached agreements on a $66 billion budget for 2026-27 on Monday, passing a series of bills that were left unresolved during the regular session. A flurry of outstanding bills, some of which were hammered out behind closed doors in the weeks leading up to Monday's special session, passed in the House and Senate, and doing so, they avoided a government shutdown that could have followed in July. The $66 billion price tag for the budget contains a series of savings designed to reduce Minnesota's projected budget deficit, estimated at $6 billion by 2028, to $1.9 billion.
Did they do what they went to do?
They did.
Thank you.
It was crunch time, and they got
Get
it done.
on it.
Yeah, right?
Make smart choices.
I think a lot of it because of us urging them yesterday. I think we should get some credit for that. Mm-hmm. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Sly Stewart passed away yesterday at the age of 82. Sylvester Stewart, sorry.
But
Sly Stone.
It's one or the other.
I was getting to that.
Go with the legal name or the stage name?
Yeah, I guess I did kind of combine the two there, didn't I? Sylvester Stewart passed away yesterday at the age of 82. Formed in 1966, Sly and the Family Stone was the first major group to include black and white men and women, and well embodied a time when anything seemed possible. His family says, quote, "He passed away peacefully, surrounded by his 3 children, his closest friends, and his extended family. Sly recently completed the screenplay for his life story, a project we are eager to share with the world in due course."
Anyone who's unfamiliar with Sly and the Family Stone's records, you have homework to do. I would have a hard time taking anyone seriously who speaks about music without a knowledge of this man's impact and influence.
Yeah.
George Clinton, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Outkast, Chili Peppers, Miles Davis, in every possible direction. For every artist who's mattered since, Sly Stone is an absolute pillar. There's no way to overstate his significance. There's no way to add hyperbole to the greatness of Sly Stone. He's a true genius, and unlike anyone before or since.
And cherry on top, he was a former DJ.
That's where it all started,
Yeah.
baby.
That's right.
Spinning records, playing all kinds of stuff. He would play the sound of a toilet flushing because he would just hear it and go like, "Man, listen to that." You know, he was out there. He was on a whole nother planet, man.
Yep. Absolutely.
Questlove documentary on Sly Stone, which is out, called Sly Lives: The Burden of Black Genius on Hulu, is more than worth everyone's time. I would sincerely and heartily recommend checking it out.
It's on Hulu?
Yeah.
Noted.
Nice. All right.
Amazing.
I'm going to watch that. The T206 Honus Wagner baseball card from between 1909 and 1911 is pretty much the crown jewel of sports collectibles, as there are only 54 known to exist, and one of these cards is currently on the auction block. It's going to be sold when the auction ends on June 21st. It quickly jumped to more than $3 million, and the sports world is watching because this card could end up being the most expensive card ever. The all-time record is a Mickey Mantle Topps 52 rookie card, which sold for $12.6 million in 2022.
Do you remember the movie about all the card collectors from the 80s? It was called Revenge of the Nerds. Great, hilarious movie. Man. That was awesome.
I collected.
And by the way,
wasn't the
I have
nerd.
two very dear friends who have incredible card collections, and I would not say anything different to them. You're out of your mind. Of course, they have, they got a retirement fund in their little card collections, which, so there you have it.
It's the one thing that's kind of amazing to me. I mean, I was just a casual, like most American boys were at one point. They collected baseball cards. Honus Wagner and Mickey Mantle. I mean, where's Babe Ruth? It's kind of amazing to me that like Babe Ruth card isn't like the crown jewel.
There's a million Babe Ruth cards. There's way more. It's the rarity.
Are there a million of them? Are there that many?
Comparatively.
Probably,
no,
yeah.
I mean, but I'm saying, but
I
like
get the 54,
there's a lot more.
I didn't realize there were that many in there in circulation.
Finding a Babe Ruth card is nothing like finding a rookie Mickey Mantle or a Honus Wagner. There are certain cards that, for whatever reason, there's just fewer of them. If you have way more cards, they're not worth as much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Speaking of sports, the Minnesota Frost lost two more players from their back-to-back championship teams. Let's see. Who did we lose now? Brooke McQuiggy?
Brooke McQuigg.
McQuigg. I wanted
My
to put
daughter's
that E on
favorite
there.
player. She's going to be heartbroken.
Gone. And Denisa Krysova.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one to pronounce. Kryshova.
See what I said?
Yeah.
They're both gone.
Wow. I didn't realize that was
ladies,
still
we
going
hardly
on.
knew you, and I mean hardly, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they were great players.
Yeah, they were both impact players for sure. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was still going on.
Oh, yeah. That's still
Expansion,
happening,
huh?
baby.
All
Aaron
right.
Rodgers, as we said yesterday, is now on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yay.
Here's a quote. It's an interesting quote for a guy who just signed a new deal. I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm 41 years old. I'm in a serious relationship. I have off-the-field stuff going on that requires my attention. Have fun, Pittsburgh.
Wow.
It's just beginning.
You know who I want to hear that from? No one on my team.
Yeah.
Especially not my starting quarterback.
I want to hear that from somebody who just retired and
Thank
is going to
you.
go be a real human.
Thank you.
But you're playing in the NFL. That is your life.
Yeah.
Especially at that position, more than any other. It's like, no, hey, Pittsburgh, seriously. Dancing with the devil, man.
I hadn't heard that yet. It's just the beginning of that drama. Oh my God.
West St. Paul, glad to have you with us this morning on a Tuesday morning. West St. Paul, which is just a stone's throw from where we sit right now.
That's
It really is. Yeah.
accurate.
It's really right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get over there during a commercial break and get back, and you wouldn't even know what happened. That's all I'm saying.
Let's try it.
You may remember last month, we had the KQ's Bestest of the Year awards going on. Your votes determined all the best places. We're going to start hitting up a few of those over the summer months. We're going to be making our appearance, which means we're going to walk in and just sit down and hang out and have a beer.
Nice.
Come
Type of thing.
Hang out and have a beer with us.
Thursday this week, 2 days from now, Thursday the 12th at 5:30 p.m., we're going to be hitting the American Legion and Osseo. How about that?
Yeah, post number 172. They were our KQ's bestest for meat raffle. Meat raffle happens, the meat spin happens on Saturdays, but we're going to be crashing their party Thursday.
Right on. I'm looking forward to that.
My old stomping grounds. I graduated from Osseo High School. Maybe I should get out the mug that we got when we graduated and bring that and drink beer out of that.
I wouldn't imagine there's a better possible way to drink beer at the Osseo American Legion. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple days. I can pound the thrift markets, the flea markets. I might find one myself, and I'll act like I graduated from there, too.
I love
Nice.
that.
Class
Sure.
of 83, come on. Let's remember the good old days.
We'll take you, I guess.
Let's do this. Hey, so that's Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Hoping anybody who's around can come out and join us. That'll be fun.
Yeah, if that's your neighborhood, we totally want to see you there. If you have some other spot that's like your hot spot, let us know what they are. We'll be making our way all throughout the metro.
Very nice, very nice. The AMC, the movie theater chain, not the defunct American car company. AMC Movies have got a spectacular announcement now. Well, a spectacular announcement for all of us who can't get enough commercials. I'll explain in about 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
I love going to the movie theater. I love seeing movies in the theater,
Yes.
in the dark, when everybody in there has tape over their mouth and no one has their phone on and no one is opening their candy wrappers. When it's dead quiet and dark in a movie, I'm so happy, which is why I never go to movies anymore, because it's never quiet and everybody makes noise and people look at their phones and you get this opportunity. How many times in life do we still have a chance to go somewhere and for 2 hours just enter another world where reality goes away? The door shuts behind you and it's like, whoo. I can just now let this movie take me away.
It sounds like you need to go to a movie theater and be the only person in it.
I've done it, and it's the greatest experience of my movie-going life.
Agreed.
Nothing better. And so conversely, nothing worse than when someone whips out their phone just to check a text, but I see that light come on.
Yeah, it's distracting.
When someone is they're opening up their Junior Mints, and it's apparently got 6 seals of plastic on it because it takes forever. People try to be quiet, so they take twice as long to just rip the damn thing open.
Yeah.
But then more than anything, talking. When I hear people in the theater talking, I'm immediately. It's a me problem. I'll admit it.
No, it's not.
But anyway, but I'm saying my ability to not get over it, and then I just get up and I want to leave. It just drives me crazy. So. There's a million reasons why movies are nowhere near what they once were.
Yeah.
And part of that is because people stopped being taught how to go to the movie theater, which is sit down and shut up.
Right.
It's real basic stuff. Shut up and enjoy the movie. But now AMC's making it even less likely for me to go to too many movies because they've announced, hey, starting July 1st, we've signed a new deal with a company called National Cinemedia. We're going to start airing pre-movie commercials in addition to all of the pre-movie crap we're already showing you. So you've got...
Don't some other theaters do this too? I definitely have gone to a movie theater and seen straight up commercials that I'd see on TV.
So you've got you've got your movie trailers, which is what you look forward to. You want to see the previews.
Those are fun. Yep.
I already hate those. They're all way too long.
Really?
Oh,
they're 5 minutes long sometimes. I like give me 30 seconds. I would limit every trailer to 30 seconds. Tease me. Don't give me the plot.
Oh, I can go with 2.5.
It just drives me nuts.
I'm more of a minute and a half, 2 minutes person, but yes, okay. I hear what you're saying, though.
But you know what? That'd be a healthy. I would meet you in the middle there. So give me 2 minutes tops.
Okay.
But then you have all the endless the popcorn on the roller coaster track, and then the little just the stuff they show, and then there's all these PSAs, and then they don't have a guy come out and go, listen, if you pull your phone out, I'm gonna throw you out of here. Instead, they have a little cartoon animated guy for 90 seconds say, don't use your phone. The whole experience drives me crazy. So now with AMC saying, you know what, we're just going to launch into a bunch of commercials here. And because they've noticed, AMC said, for the past 5 years, we have been seeking out crucial revenue that's not reliant on the increase of base ticket prices. We've done this through more and better movie-going enhancements, like a significant expansion of PLFs.
What's a PLF?
I don't know. I thought it was a political party in Northern Ireland. A greater selection of food and beverage offerings, introduction of movie-going merchandise like popcorn buckets, and other collectible concession vessels. During that same time, others in the industry have taken in revenue through their partners with blah, 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 platinum spots. And it goes on to say, listen, basically, we don't think it's going to impact your movie-going habits, so we're just going to add some commercials because we got to bring in money somehow.
Yeah.
Would you pay money to not sit through the commercials?
If you,
I think what it's coming down to.
You know what? If you said this movie theater will charge you $2 extra a ticket, but if it says $6.15, the movie rolls at $6.15, I'd do it every time.
Really?
Yeah. Let me walk in and sit down and start a movie.
See, to me, I think all of the negative comments that are happening because of this, it's just classic us. If they raise ticket prices, people would bitch about that. If they play another minute of commercials, people bitch about that.
Well, yeah.
Here's the thing. Movie theaters, and I still love them. I'm willing to put up with all the crap that you listed, even though a lot of it is really annoying. But I still love them. But they're genuinely getting their asses kicked. They have been since COVID. And so this is their way of trying to stay afloat. I mean, and we're talking about probably another minute is basically what we're talking about. Some of these comments I've never seen before. They're talking about the movie starts at 6 and the movie actually starts at 6:30. I've never seen a half-hour delay before.
Oh, I have.
Have you really?
Absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah, I went to see that wicked nonsense, and it was. You have
a lot of trauma about sitting through this movie.
Well, I slept through the movie. I sat through 27 minutes of nonsense before the movie started, and then I took my nap. So it was actually okay.
I mean, so and I'll, you know what? Next time we go, because I go a lot, I'll actually time it from the second we sit down.
Yeah.
And I'll report back.
No, not from when you sit down. From when this thing starts.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I mean.
If it's a 6 o'clock movie, start the timer at 6.
I will. Okay, I will. And here's the thing. And I'm not trying to give them a plug, but the one we go to is the Imagine Theaters in Rogers.
Yeah.
And I think it's 10 minutes, and that's like that. I can tolerate 10 minutes.
I could take it. If it was 10 minutes. It's just been longer.
Like I said, I'll time it and
longer.
see if I'm wrong, because it's possible I'm wrong.
I grew up but here's the thing, it's a big problem, and I just have to get over it, or actually, I don't have to do anything. I don't care.
Sure.
But I mean, I loved it. I loved the experience so much as a kid and as a young adult. Like, when I'm in high school, college, out of college, basically the 80s and 90s, into the 2000s, once kids came, it's kind of like I'll see it when it's on cable. But I'm saying I had a good, solid 25-year run where I was going to movies at least once a week. It was unusual if I didn't go to 2 in a week because, A, there used to be a lot more movies I was interested in, and B, it was just such a part of life. It was like going to a record store.
It was.
Everybody went.
Yeah.
You'd go into a record store, and everybody would just be hanging out.
Friday night was movie night.
Go to a movie at least once a week.
Yeah.
And the experience never, ever waned. I never got tired of sitting down and watching a couple previews, and then, boom, this thing starts, and you're just gone. You know, I mean, like movies just... I was such a dreamer as a kid. And I mean, it's like if you've ever seen Woody Allen's Purple Rose of Cairo.
Sure,
Please watch that movie if you've never seen it. That was me. I would just sit there and just go away into the film. And I would live there I went to see Indiana Jones, the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, a horny high school kid with my girlfriend, and I had to ask her to stop trying to make out with me. The movie's on. I'm like, we made out in the car in the parking lot. We're going to make out as soon as it's over. Can you just give me an hour and 40 minutes so I can be in Tunisia with a bullwhip? Is that so much to ask for?
That's so lame, man.
Yeah, but
I love the movie experience. That was the first 10 minutes. It was over.
I know.
Well, in the plane. Then he went into the thing. But I knew it was coming. I'd been warned. My brother warned me. He said, there's a snake thing. So anyway, but I'm curious. Am I overreacting? Am I completely insane, or should we just? I always have two things. I would love to fly in an airline where you can't have any carry-ons. Everyone checks everything, or don't bring anything. Just make it easier on all of us. And I would pay extra for a movie where you just walked in, sat down, and the movie started. Absolutely. 651-989-ROCK. We've all gotten stuck in our GPS now for years. I'll just say it. I use GPS anytime I go anywhere solely for traffic.
Yes.
I know how to get places. I've got a pretty good sense. If I drive somewhere once, I got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always had that ability. So, but I will say, I do rely on GPS way more than I wish I did. But the times it saves you from getting stuck in a traffic jam, it's always worth it.
It's totally worth it. I wonder if it doesn't sound like it's affecting you, Steve, but I wonder if us relying on it for traffic is slowly dumbing us down.
Oh, I think it is. I mean, no, it definitely is. There's time because it's one less thing you have to think about. So it's a muscle you never flex anymore. And eventually, there are times when, because I have this phone needs to be updated. And I just refused. I just get so angry at having to update a phone. But when I plug in, like on my car, I want to put up the Waze or the whatever the GPS, and I have to plug it in. And sometimes the plug just won't take. And so I'm stuck with just good old-fashioned Bluetooth and then looking at my phone if I want to look at it. And the navigation in my car I don't like. I just can't get used to it.
Yeah.
So every now and again I'm like, well, I know where I'm going. But then when I'm going there, I'm like, do I really know where I'm going? And it's been especially – I've only had that problem since I got here to Minneapolis because there's the exit ramp situation here.
The construction just pops up.
The number of construction, the construction sites, but the number of times I'm getting off on one ramp and I'm like, is it the first one or is the second one or the third off ramp from this off ramp I'm already on?
Right.
I mean, a drunk toddler, as we know, designed the Twin Cities highway system. So it's been a challenge to get that right. Every now and again, I think I'm getting on 100 going one direction. Suddenly I'm past 100 and I'm going somewhere. I'm like, what in the hell just happened?
That's fair.
Yeah, it is. It's tricky.
It's crazy. Other than 12 years of my life, I've been in this state, and I at times I find myself feeling lost within my own city. It's the GPS, man. It's crazy. There are actually 37% of people only say that they'd be good without GPS, but 7% say they're terrible without it. And I fear I'm starting to get towards that 7%.
Yeah, I would imagine younger drivers are just if you don't know a life without GPS, it's going to be a weird thing. What about you, Ryder? Are you a GPS gal?
Nope. I mean, if I'm in the city proper, because Minneapolis is set up like a grid. If you know kind of the little specifics about all of these things, I think you should be able to make it where you need to go with just an address. Now, I say that, but this weekend we went to 36 in Lindale. A buddy was having a big party because he owns a gas station, had a huge celebration. Mr. Ryder drove. I tried to direct him home. and he got real feisty with me because we ran into some dead ends and things like that. Now, generally, if I'm driving, he doesn't notice because his head is so stuck in his phone that if I kind of, you know, maybe take us the scenic route, as my dad would say, he doesn't really notice. But yeah, I try not do GPS if I don't have to.
The first time I ever hung out with Rosemary Priola back in the day, long before it occurred to me she might one day be my wife. So this is like 1989 we're going back to.
Sure.
We met, we said, let's get together, we'll go do this, blah, blah, blah. And then she called. I had my day off, and I said, just call me and we'll figure out the plan. So she called and said, okay, I'll come get you. Where do you live? I said, I live in Inman Park. And I said, where are you? And I gave her, I said, take a right on this, then you come in here. And I just gave her like 5, a left here, go to that light, take a right, and then it's here. And she said, okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. And she just hung up the phone, and I was like, wow. I was impressed. Like, not a single, didn't ask me to slow down. She wasn't writing it down, obviously.
Yeah.
And 9 minutes later, she showed up, and I was so impressed. And I kid you not, she's never gotten a single thing right since with direction. She was just trying to impress me. That's a woman who, when I say go to your left, she puts both hands up front. Real briefly, like, no, she says all the time, I am directionally dyslexic, and she is. Anytime. My kids knew this at a young age. If they were traveling and for somewhere, and she goes, let's get, like, classic case, let's get back to the hotel. And she turns, and both kids would always just turn the other way. Like, Mom, no.
No.
But they didn't even have to question it. She's like, oh, you're right.
Sense of direction.
She gets turned. Yeah. She gets turned right away. Yeah. Don't even get me started on phone numbers. I remember all my childhood phone numbers. I don't know either of your phone numbers, of course.
No.
Right. Oh, my God. Yeah. I put it in your phone once and forget about it. That's the magic.
Yeah, I remember Mom and Dad's home phone, or the house I grew up in. I remember that number, yep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And my best friend, Frank, yeah.
Yeah, I can give them all to you. I can rattle them off. Just another part of the many, many, many millions of useless pieces of information kicking around in my noggin.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Indeed.
I'd like to flush
There's a lot in
those.
there. Yeah, there's a lot in there.
And here's one for you. A high school star in Salinas, California. A 16-year-old sophomore named Clara Adams. She won the state championship in the 400 meters. California State Championship. She's in 10th grade. Mm-hmm. She's only 16. 400 meters. That is a lengthy sprint is what that is.
Yeah.
And she won the tournament. This is in May 31st. 53 seconds, point 24. 400 meters. 53.
Really? Under
24.
a minute?
Yeah.
That's speedy.
Way under a minute.
Yeah.
And we celebrated by doing the normal things, you know. High-fived a couple of her competitors, pumped her fist into the air, and then walked away from the track into a part of the infield where none of the other girls that she had just competed against were standing.
Okay.
From the photos I've seen of this, not another competitor within at least 25, 30 yards of her.
Right.
And then her dad handed her something, her dad, to celebrate. It was a small, little portable household fire extinguisher. And she used it, and she sprayed off her feet as if to say, my shoes are on fire.
Which they were.
She just ran 400 meters in 53 seconds. The California Interscholastic Federation stripped her of her first place win, saying unsportsmanlike conduct.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's a 16-year-old kid.
Who just won the state title, and her dad handed her the fire extinguisher so she could pay tribute to an Olympian who did that very thing in 2004. Maurice Green won a gold medal at the 2004 Summer Games and did the exact same thing. He didn't have his gold medal removed. It was just, what a cool way to celebrate. What a funny thing. It hurts no one. The unsportsmanship thing, okay, first of all, she's not still on the track. She's nowhere near any of the other competitors.
Yep.
She put the fire extinguisher stuff on her own shoes.
Right.
She didn't slap some paper mache wings on a girl she just won and said, use these next time. That would be unsportsmanlike.
Okay.
She didn't stroll over with an e-bike and say, try this next time. That would be unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
She just ran faster than everyone else and then celebrated her win at 16 years old again.
Saluting somebody from the past she clearly admires.
Yep.
With her dad.
Yeah.
Away from everybody else.
Yeah.
So basically what we're telling people is that you can achieve greatness but don't have any fun either.
Apparently so. Yeah,
God, that's maddening.
So her father has a fundraiser up. He's trying to help her get to the 2025 USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships at the University of Oregon. And he says, hey, this is ridiculous. They're going to take this away, so she's no longer eligible to go up and try to get into this meet. However, again, she's only a sophomore. Nike, UCLA, and Princeton, among others, have already reached out about, hey, she's pretty talented. Maybe there's a relationship here. Maybe there's something to be done. And the story's been picked up by a lot of media outlets all over the country.
Good.
And she says at a press conference where they're explaining all of this, and she said, I'm going to bounce back. That's just the kind of athlete I am. Yeah, no kidding. We just saw you run 400 meters in 53 seconds.
And with a mindset like that and wording like that, it sounds to me like she's more grown up than the people that just stripped her of her accomplishment.
I got to think. Now, I haven't been able to find this out, but it seems I wouldn't be surprised if someone who lost in that race, if their parents didn't complain.
Okay, well, just a real quick question. So a track meet is multiple events. It's a lot of events packed into one day. So we're talking, 20, 30 events maybe?
Running concurrently.
Yes. Yeah. So what if at the end of every single event, somebody wanted to do their special extended celebration?
Okay.
Is it okay if everybody does it?
If everybody's able to do it away from everyone else, where no one else is impacted on any level, I would be, to your point, I bet like 7 people at the stadium even saw her do this. Because there's already someone running with a pole vault in their hand. There's already someone trying to do a high jump. There's another race probably already on the track getting ready. Yeah, if you've ever been to a live track and field event, there's 6 things to watch at all times.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the picture I'm looking at, there are, a handful of people standing in the vicinity of where she is, but they look like volunteers. They're working, they're cleaning the track.
That's exactly who they are. They're all adults who are doing other things. They're working.
She's not distracting anybody. She's not taking away from other events. This is asinine. That's all there is to it.
Just straight down onto her own shoes. I mean, here's the thing. If you want to pull her aside and go, hey, that's not cool, we don't appreciate that, go for it. But taking away her championship, that is lunacy.
That might be fair, but should we put maybe some time restrictions around how long people get to do these sort of things?
It's a perfect example to then open up a conversation and say, hey, by the way, there's nothing in our language about fire extinguishers being okay or not okay. You can then take this as, let's make sure we don't repeat this. I don't have a problem saying we don't like that you did that, but taking away her championship when there's nothing in the wording of nowhere is there a place that says, if you put a fire extinguisher on your own shoes, we're going to take away your ribbon. I mean, if they had said, if she had any idea that was even a possibility, I have a feeling she wouldn't have done it.
Stakes are high. Competition is serious. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is youth sports. Let's teach and not just hammer somebody.
When I was a senior playing soccer, I played sweeper, so I didn't have a game-winning goal, but I saved a goal that would have lost the game. So it's a defender's, that's the version you get when you play defense. Okay. And to celebrate, I lit the school bus on fire. Okay, and everybody gathered around, and we whipped out marshmallows, and it was totally cool. But no, apparently I'm not allowed to light a bus on fire. But no one told me ahead of time. And to this day, I say, look, if you had said ahead of time, Steve, do not light the school bus on fire, then I wouldn't have done it. But, but live and learn. The rules were, suddenly we had to put some new rules into place.
I feel like that's apples and oranges.
Yeah, that didn't actually happen.
No?
I wish it had. That'd be a great story.
You made that up.
Wouldn't that be a great story?
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
WTF, Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. It's time to play the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
We've got KQ Karaoke Cruise tickets to give away.
Here we go.
This is how this works. We're going to play you some news drops, and then we're going to, I put these together. I'll ask you guys to give me your thoughts on what state these stories emanated from. The answers for each will either be Wisconsin or Texas or Florida.
Copy that.
Sometimes you get one from all three. Sometimes you get 3 from one. You don't have to have all 3 states represented.
Copy.
But your answer is no more than Wisconsin or Texas or Florida. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Now, with that in mind, after we hear these, then we'll open it up to some listeners because, of course, there are tickets to give away. But let's kick this one off. And I'm just going to say, sometimes it's really important not to overthink these things. Sometimes you got to overthink these things.
Yeah.
You never know where the double cross is coming in. So let's just start
That's
with
the secret sauce of this game.
Let's start with an interesting fella who decided that the people working at a Wendy's drive-thru window needed some assistance that night.
24-year-old man, this man right here, accused of throwing an alligator through a drive-thru window. Our Jared Worksma spoke exclusively to his family tonight. And Jared, what are they telling you?
Well, Josh James' parents are telling us that he is an outdoorsman and that Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, was his idol. But above all, they say he is a prankster who meant no harm. Yep. Sure. Fish and Wildlife says that James grabbed a roughly 3.5-foot alligator on the side of the road, picked it up, got it in his truck, brought it to this Wendy's behind us, and just hurled it through that drive-through window.
Just a stupid prank that he did that's now turning into this.
And you definitely believe this was a prank?
Oh, 100%, because he's a prankster. He does stuff like this because he thinks it's funny.
Ed and Linda James say their son Josh is harmless, but he's sitting in jail facing serious charges.
The charge against him is assault with a deadly weapon intent to do less than murder.
Yeah.
I don't even get that. I don't know how that... I don't get it.
All right, back out live now at this Wendy's. Once again, for those of you who are wondering about that alligator, Fish and Wildlife says that it was safely released back into the wild. As soon as we have more information, we will be sure to pass it along. But for now, we're live in. I'm Jared Worksma, WPTV News Channel 5.
Man, if I did something this stupid, my dad is not going onto the news to defend me.
Not a chance.
He's a prankster. That's not happening.
Yeah. Not a chance.
Oh,
my whole school career would have been so much better if somebody would have just said, "Hey, he's just a prankster."
Man.
Holy smoke. I'm actually in tears. That is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
I can't even begin to imagine what Don and Imelda Gorman would have said if news had come knocking on their door. I have a sense that I would have been cooling my heels in jail for a while because when one of my older brothers was arrested when I was a kid and was taken out of the house, my dad said, "All right, see you tomorrow."
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not going to bail you out tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. That was a lesson that only had to be taught once.
That's the way it goes, man. Put yourself in that spot,
right.
You sit in the clink overnight.
All right, so there's your first story. Now let's move on. Let's move on to bagpipes. You love them or you hate them.
Okay.
Some people, it's a blessing and a curse when you know someone who plays the bagpipes. Check this bizarre one out.
Okay.
Also new tonight, a bagpipe blow-up after a man says a woman got mad at him for playing his music.
Now she's accused of assaulting the man's wife. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live with the story you'll see only on 13.
Quite the dust-up here along this bike trail Memorial Day. A man playing his bagpipes when he says a 76-year-old woman angrily confronts him. It's a cherished instrument in Scott Gibbs' native Scotland.
Just love the sound of the pipe.
Except perhaps this one. Monday, the 76-year-old Eunice Isger had a bone to pick with Gibbs' bagpipe playing.
She said I had no right to play here. She was very aggressive, yelling and screaming.
Video shot by Gibbs' wife shows the woman standing inches from Gibb, phone out, and trained on him as he continues to play.
Literally stuck it right in my face, blinding my eyes.
But when she notices Gibbs' wife is also recording, he says Isger tries to stop it.
She basically swiped at my wife's face.
Charging documents say Isger struck the victim's arm, and at one point, according to the constable's office, tripped and fell while reaching for the victim's backpack. Gibbs says she actually confronted him about his bagpipe playing weeks prior to this confrontation. That one, he says, purely verbal, no physical altercation there. And he says he never called police. Live, Luke Jones, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
All right, if it's not one particular AC/DC song, I don't want to hear the bagpipes at all. So maybe me and Eunice, I think her name was, might be on the same page here.
Yeah, Eunice is one hell of a
solo
name.
piper on a bike trail. I mean, it's astonishing how far the bagpipes will carry. Those things are loud, man.
I just love where we've gotten as a society, though. It's just phones in each other's faces, just as non-confrontational, passive-aggressive as we can possibly get.
And who moves from Scotland to Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida? How are those your go-to spots?
That was a legit accent there too. So, God, that's a tough one.
All right.
So we got one more here. You've probably seen stuff in the news lately. A lot of Teslas coming under attack. A lot of people aren't fans of Elon Musk, and so they take it out on private citizens' own cars.
Right.
I don't understand the logic of that one myself. But this particular owner had a little damage done to his Tesla, and he took an unusual response.
In a case of that Tesla that was keyed at a airport parking garage, the owner has now filed a lawsuit against the man he believes is responsible, and he's asking for $1 million in damages.
By now, you've surely seen the video. Our Robbie Owens today sitting down with his based attorney to ask what's really running up the tab.
Tesla vehicles are indeed pricey, but they're not selling for $1 million. So yes, the owner of that keyed Model X wants his vehicle repaired, but he admits to also wanting to send a message with that lawsuit.
He happens to believe that Tesla, his Model X, is one of the best cars he's ever owned, and he enjoys driving it.
On March 16th, the Tesla owner returned to airport to find that his Model X had been keyed. A deep scratch now ran down the entire side panel, but someone is always watching, and in this case, it was the car. Tesla's onboard security cameras captured a man with a key fob in his hand, appearing to vandalize the vehicle. The Tesla owner shared the video on social media, hoping to identify the man. Over the weekend, airport police arrested Rafael Hernandez and charged him with criminal mischief in the case. And Robbie Owens, CBS News.
Man, that's some passive-aggressive stuff.
I'm going to sue you for $1 million.
Attacking a Tesla is just not smart. Sentry mode, man. They have 9 cameras on a Tesla.
Yeah, that was a little creepy.
Yeah, well,
to hear that it was the Tesla itself that caught this dude.
Well, the cameras are motion activated too, so you mess with a Tesla, you're taking a risk.
I just like that the guy's like, this is the greatest car I've ever owned, and you need to give me $1 million now.
Well, and he enjoys driving it. Did you hear that? He enjoys driving it.
He certainly does. So those 3 stories all happened in one of 3 places, Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida. Curious to get your thoughts. Here's how this is going to work. On the KQ Talk and text line 651-989-ROCK, the first caller to correctly identify all 3 WTF locations is going to win tickets to the KQ Karaoke Cruise June 20th. Yeah. That's with Paddleford Riverboat, singing drinks with your buds. That's us from KQ. And free food from Lucky's 13. Prize, of course, provided by Paddleford Riverboats. Call in right now, 651-989-ROCK. The first person to get all 3 right will be at the cruise. And apparently Wendy from Eden Prairie has joined us on the horn because she's got all the answers to all the questions. Wendy, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we're going to recap, Wendy, the stories here. The first one, the prankster dude decided to help some Wendy's employees out by throwing a live alligator through their drive-through window. Ryder, do you have a thought on where that took place?
You know, when you hear, hoof steps, think horses, not zebras, so I'm going to go with Florida.
Okay, going with Florida. Fletcher?
When I hear an assault with a deadly weapon being in the form of an alligator, I think Florida.
So you guys know there's alligators all over Texas. However.
Oh, damn.
Wendy, what's the answer?
Florida.
No, it is Florida. Okay.
There we go. A 3.5-foot alligator on the side of the road. It's got to be Florida.
Yeah, that's right. I know. I was trying to, but hey, they got them in Texas too. But not that many.
And you're right. It could
not
be
that many.
It could be Texas, but I'm saying when I think of Florida. Yeah.
No, very well done. All right, now next up, the bagpiper his wife was attacked by an elderly woman who we didn't hear this part. Her husband's a judge actually, so the judge's wife was the one getting in the bagpiper's face. Where do you think this lonely piper was, Ryder?
I'm saying if you're moving to the continental United States from Scotland, you want to be in the Midwest. We are the best place to be. I'm going with Wisconsin.
Fletcher?
Also, she seems passive-aggressive, this lady.
She does. That's very true.
Yes. The passive-aggressive is what caught my attention. Constable's office threw me off a little bit, but I'm going to say Wisconsin.
All right, Wendy, lay it on us.
Texas.
Damn straight. The Lone Star
Constable's
State,
office.
baby.
I should have stuck with Constable's office.
Yeah, you were
Texas.
You were feeling good about there. All right, last one. Tesla gets his car keyed, I should say, and sues not only for damages but for $1 million cash. What state do we think that happened in, Ryder?
Okay, I think that this one is Steve trying to throw us off the trail. Not a typical Florida story, but I'm going to say it was someplace classy like Miami or some kind of garbage like that. So I'm going with Florida.
I love how classy and garbage are synonyms in Ryder's world.
Right, absolutely. And I'm going to go for the complete FTW. I think you did it all backwards. I think we got Wisconsin at the end.
All right, Wendy, lay it on us.
Texas again.
Also Texas. Wendy, very well done.
Nice work, Wendy. Can't wait to see you on the boat.
FTT, and that spells tickets for Wendy.
Yes.
Karaoke cruise June 20th. It's going to be great, Wendy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Way to run that gauntlet.
We are
sister.
looking very forward to that one. All right. After WTF, there's only one thing left to do. It's start to feel Minnesota. We got headlines.
There is a big breakthrough in diagnosing Parkinson's disease. According to researchers out of UCLA, they've invented a pen that can detect Parkinson's with high accuracy. A pilot study published in the journal Nature Chemical Engineering notes that the device looks close to a normal pen. The pen is able to pick up on small dysfunctions by observing how people write before it can be noticed visually. The pen worked whether people wrote on paper or just in the air, and they say it's 96% accurate and available at a low cost.
Mind-boggling.
This is super cool. I'm nervous that the accuracy is going to drop as we as a society quit writing things.
I was just thinking that. I haven't written more than a sentence in years. And anytime I write, if I try,
it's a struggle.
My hand cramps up right away. It's ridiculous.
My hand doesn't cramp, but it's just my writing has gone south, man. It's terrible.
But for as far as that goes, research, anything that you can do for earlier diagnosis, man, that's fantastic.
For sure.
And a pen of all things. I mean, seriously, it sounds like a Marvel Universe, like Tony Stark, kind of an invention. The Prince estate is hinting about plans for a reissue of two 80s era films. Era albums, not films, era albums. The recent announcement said a boxed edition of 85s Around the World in a Day is on the way. The estate also noted that fans will see a release of the 1986 release Parade. No release dates for these releases, and I'm going to try to say release a few more times, for the reissues are set as of yet.
Excellent.
And vinyl editions of 2015's Hit and Run Phase 1 and Phase 2 are also in the works.
More vinyl is good vinyl.
I agree. And Prince is also good, right? More Prince is good. A company in China has developed a humanoid robot specifically designed to clean hotel rooms. The Zerith H1 could be a game changer in the hotel industry. It can stoop to pick up items from the floor, clean everything from toilets to tabletops, vacuum, and mop, all while avoiding bumping into furniture or guests.
Uh-huh.
I'm opening up my house as a hotel now. I need one of these robots.
Opening up, they're gonna just spy on you. They're gonna have those. It's like a Tesla with 9 cameras.
That's the price you pay for free cleaning. Go ahead and spy on me if you want to, but I love to have my house cleaned by somebody else.
For your house, that's fine. I'm talking about hotels. If I'm in a hotel, I want to see a human being walk in there, and I want to say, "Come back later."
I like the general idea of just giving human beings jobs.
There's a big part of that I enjoy as well.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a humanoid to clean your house for free, Ryder. I think there's going to be some cost associated with that.
With the robot?
Yeah.
Like a one-time, like one and done, doesn't need to get fed, any of that kind of stuff? Sure, I think I can handle that.
You're just going to buy it, huh?
In the world of sport, there are a couple of hockey teams still competing right now. That would be the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. Florida with a 2-1 game lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. Last night they beat Edmonton with a broom 6-1. Just took him out to the woodshed. Donnybrook, midway through the third period, made for some great highlights right there. The Minnesota Twins are back in business tonight. They will be playing the Texas Rangers. The first pitch at Target Field at 6:40. Aaron Rodgers of the Pittsburgh Steelers is doing his best to lower the bar of expectation in Steelers Nation. He said after signing his deal, "I'm in a different phase in my life. I'm 41 years old. I'm in a serious relationship. I have off-the-field stuff going on that requires my attention." No, dude, you're a quarterback in the NFL. That stuff you can put your attention towards off-the-field stuff in February. Actually, in January when you don't lead your team to the playoffs.
Yes.
But if you're so busy, why did he agree to quarterback a team at all?
Money! Cottage Grove, we're thinking of you this morning. Happy to have our friends in Cottage Grove with us as the morning progresses.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the Morning is back. 92 KQRS.
The AMC movie theater chain has announced they will be adding commercials before movies.
Oh, boy.
In addition to the already very lengthy amount of trailers and in-house ads that you see before films, now they're just saying flat out, yeah, we're just going to run a bunch of commercials up the flagpole, too. They're doing all they can to bring in, sources of revenue beyond just the ticket sales. It's such a weird thing, and obviously the COVID just kicked in the nuts.
Yeah,
an already struggling industry. I mean, streaming has just destroyed. You know what MP3s and Napster did to music. You know, downloading songs. 25 years ago, the streamers the last 10 years have just taken movies right out of the theater and put it right in your home or on your phone. So, they're doing all they can. They got to bring in money. So they're saying, you know what, we're just going to add some more commercials to this situation.
As opposed to raising ticket prices.
I guess that's as opposed to raising ticket prices.
Because it's already damn expensive.
It really is.
Yeah.
And my first reaction was, you know what? Put an extra $1 on there and save me the commercials. Put an extra $2 on there. But then again, I don't go to movies that often because I loved theater experiences so much that as they started to go downhill, I just couldn't take it anymore. It just annoyed me too much. I am the worst movie theater goer on earth when it comes to other people talking or just making noise or looking at their phone. I was like that as a kid. I'd be like, why is that guy talking in a movie theater? It would blow my mind that people didn't get the rules as I saw them.
There are two things to me that are outright, absolute, just no-nos in a movie theater. Talking and your phone. Put them away. Like I don't think that's you. I think that's it's absurd is what it is. So I'm completely with you on that.
I don't think it's just me, but I allow it to ruin my experience.
Fair enough.
I will sometimes.
Yeah, but who wouldn't it distract?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I can't get back in. I'm just saying. I'm admitting to overreacting. I call people out. I've ruined not just my night, but my wife's when I finally turn around and look at someone and I just start talking to them loudly. God, is this what we're doing now? We're just talking in the theater now? Cool.
So
I've done it before.
If I were Rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
I've done it before.
Okay.
You know what? But if it happens one time, okay. If somebody says something to somebody, I'm not going to lose it right then and there.
Yeah.
But, if the phone comes out more than once, or you're talking and having a conversation throughout the movie, eventually, yeah. Or, you know what? I'll even, if somebody kicks the back of my seat multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like, stop.
Okay, but movie theaters can't control those sort of things, but they've done a lot of things to make it different than just watching a movie at home, which is probably my preferred method. But they got the reclining seats. And,
heated.
If you go out to Alamo Draft House, if that's still open, they open and close, I can't remember. They'll bring you food, like a whole ass meal right to your seat. So they are doing a lot of things. The cool screens and the crazy sound, they are doing a lot of things to make it a better experience, even if you got to listen to somebody talk.
Which are good. I mean, remember the Jordan Peele movie Get Out, which came out, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yes.
Saw it twice in the theater, and both times everybody was talking because everybody was laughing and yelling and freaking out. That's the kind of movie where that's totally acceptable.
Right.
It is designed to just get a tremendous reaction. If you're watching an adventure film and people, I get that.
Yeah.
But when I'm going to see a movie like, I'm trying to think of what I've seen lately that was a quiet movie where the dialogue actually matters.
I'll just tell you,
the story matters.
It doesn't have to be new. Let's say Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
It's an art, kind of almost an indie type art house where it's all screenplay. That's all it is the writing and the acting. That's one where you need people to just shut up and listen.
I got into it there was a movie called The Ice Storm. Came out in the late 90s. Ang Lee. It's great movie set in Connecticut, 70s. People.
Oh, I remember this one.
Sigourney Weaver and Kevin Kline and the kid from the Hobbit movies, and a really good cast.
Tobey Maguire, Elijah Wood, Christina Ricci's in it.
It's fantastic. It is just malaise, middle-aged ennui on film. Really great movie. And I was so annoyed by a woman talking behind us. I turned around in the middle of the movie and said very loudly, "Are you talking to me?" And she went, "Well, no." I go, "Well, then why can't I hear you?" And I yelled, "Why can't I hear you then?" And her husband didn't like that, and then I didn't like what he didn't like, and then all of a sudden I was like about to stand up, and that was one where Rosemary's like, "Oh my God, just sit down." And I said, "I'll sit down when she pays for my ticket. You've ruined this movie for me. I want my $9." I was on a tear.
Man.
That's
Okay.
me. I can look back and admit a little over the top.
So what if you're sitting in the movie theater and whoever you've gone with, and I had a friend who I used to go to movies with who would do this to me, what if they lose track of what's happening and they lean over to you and say, "Hey, who's that guy?" Or something like that, like they need to catch up with the plot. Do you answer them or no?
If we're whispering, I can totally get whispering because these things happen. A whisper here and there, I totally can let that go. It's just people speaking in regular voice. That's what does me in. I can't stand it.
Well, if it continues.
And I'm lucky now that I won't hear you if you're whispering. I've lost a lot of the high end. And in fact, you know what? If you're going to add commercials, add subtitles. Help a brother out. Why don't you?
I would love that. I do that at home. I'd absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's the bummer. When we went to see Rosemary and I went to see the Friendship the other day. Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, Friendship.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
As disappointing a film experiences I've had in years.
So awful to hear that.
Really did not like this movie. Really annoyed me because the trailer makes it look great. And I'm like, this is going to be good. We're looking for fun. But at some point during the movie, I was like, it hit me like, I can't believe I need subtitles at the theater. Damn. And it's not that I couldn't hear it. It was loud enough. It's just the clarity. There's just a handful of, when someone drops, I'd miss a word here and there. And I was like, ow. I'm old.
Yeah,
I want subtitles in the movies in English.
Our podcast guy, Bill, we're just having that same conversation about Dogma. Bethany character, her voice is real low, so sometimes you miss some of her jokes. Yep. It's not just you, man. It's all of us.
These things happen. 651-989-ROCK. What's the idea here? Do you like having commercials if it keeps the ticket price low? Would you pay more for a commercial and trailer-free experience, I should say? 651-989-ROCK. I think Christine on the text line's pretty much answered all the questions we have about going to the movie theater. Very simply, she goes, always go to a theater with a bar. After a few drinks, I care very little about any extracurricular activities or commercials.
It's true.
It really does you kind of said the same thing. Go for that Alamo experience. But just take it easy. Get in there. And you're not going to notice all the whispering. You're not going to notice those Junior Mints boxes opening and closing all the time.
My home theater has a bar as well.
There's that too as well. And I just looked at this text from Christine, and I'm going to go back a few days and don't even need the context. But she texted this in, and I didn't see it. She wrote, "Come on, Eileen," the name of the song, Dexy's Midnight Runners. "Come on, Eileen. It forever turned me off men that wear overalls with no shirt."
That's fair.
I don't know what we were talking about to spur that, but that's a great text right there.
It was a summer song. It was a summer song.
It was a summer song. Yep. Funny enough, that's a song that also inspired a lot of men to want a woman who wears overalls with no shirt because the side boobs swivel at the end of the song. Let me tell you something. That was big deal back in the 80s.
Burned in your brain, man.
Did you see the Dexy's Midnight Run? Did you see the end when he picks the girl up? Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we don't remember that one, Christine.
Oh, such simple times.
The salad days, I like to think of them as. All right, we got a little bit of time left. In fact, the right amount of time, the perfect amount of time for the last word. This is an actual word.
Okay.
Hippopotamonstrosis kipidaliophobia.
Oh, man. Okay, so somehow I'm afraid of hippopotamuses is what I took away from that.
I'm going to read it to you one more time, and then I'll get your guess, Fletcher. Hippopotamonstrosis kipidaliophobia. The fear of?
Being killed by a hippo.
The fear of long words.
Son of a...
I ain't making it up. Go figure. Hippopotamonstrosis kipidaliophobia. All right. Nominations are open for KQ's Father of the Year. Our Father of the Year gets a grill from Fratelloni's, $500 to spend with Dennis Kirk, and other KQ gear and prizes. Shout out your dad or your kid's dad or any cool dad you know at 92KQRS.com, sponsored by Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden, as well as Dennis Kirk.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.